All right. Welcome everyone to our webinar today. We're going to talk about actually I think this is a really interesting topic. We're going to talk about upgrading your client's term. And really what I mean by that is somebody who has an enforced policy, what can you do for them to upgrade that policy? Because most of the time you see that and you can't beat the term cost, or it is what it is. And, there's not much you can do, right? Well, I have, I think, an optimal solution that in most cases, or I should say in many cases, will allow you to beat the existing term cost and also improve the underlying policy. So I think this is going to be a really interesting topic, and I've scheduled this for only 15 minutes because I want to be respectful of everybody's time out there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump right into it. Um, oh, sorry, before I get too far, my name's Jordan Pence. Um, our company is Advisors Resource Company, and let's talk a little bit about Advisors Resource, and then I'll get into the details. Advisors Resource Company is founded by former chief actuary and a certified financial planner. We have over 100 years of combined experience in our office, including home office experience, regional office experience, agent roles, and so forth. And our company was founded when our founder recognized the challenges that advisors face when they're writing life insurance, and that's primarily they're expected to do everything. And that really brought about our premier producer process. And the premier producer process consists of six things. And I'm going to go through this real quick because we're going to follow up on this. But we have competitive products, top compensation, tailored yet simple client presentations, case design and consultation. We take applications for people, we provide underwriting support, and we help keep track of enforced policies. So, with the intros out of the way, let's get into it. Um, Upgrade your client's term life insurance policy. We're going to teach you or show you a incredibly effective strategy to do so, not just from a price standpoint, but also from a benefit standpoint. And I'm gonna go right into it. So, topics of discussion for today: the target market, the product that we're going to use, some comparisons, and then some details about accelerated benefit riders. So, who is the target? Who is the target? The target for this, especially if you're replacing policies, is somebody who has an enforced term policy. Ideally, it has 15, 16, 17, any number between 15 and 30 years left on the term policy. We can be competitive with, we can help you replace that. So, number one, it has, well, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to, but generally you're going to find these, they've been in force for um, maybe a couple of years. These are prime targets. In addition to that, the target market is any client who hasn't heard the story about accelerated benefit riders, who is unaware of the accelerated benefit riders, or maybe sees the value in accelerated benefit riders. Because, in my opinion, if the cost is going to be about the same, why in the world would you not have the accelerated benefit riders? You can argue with me all day long about, well, it's not true long-term care. Well, it's going to be a discount. Well, it's going to be this. But yeah, it's a free rider and it costs the same. So what does that matter? I've talked to many people about that. So I don't know. I think you're 100% off better to have the accelerated benefit riders, even if it costs 5% more, let's say. So, target market is generally, obviously, let's get this one out of the way. They have to be insurable. They have some sort of term policy that was written in the past couple of years. They see value in accelerated benefit riders, or maybe they haven't heard the accelerated benefit rider story, but they need to hear that story. So this is how this works. We have a special product through the QOL line of products with Corebridge called the QOL Flex Term. Now, this is the case for having 18 different term durations. So with the QOL Flex Term, we have 18 different term durations. We have 10-year, we have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, all the way up to 30 and a 35-year term. The best part about this product, the QOL line of products, as compared to any other term products, is number one, they're extremely competitively priced, but they have the accelerated benefit riders. They have critical and chronic illness riders to where we can accelerate the death benefit for those ailments. And not only that, but also there's a guaranteed minimum payment that's associated with it. That's not available in all of these types of riders, but it's a very interesting value proposition that is available on these types of on this specific product. In addition, well, in addition to that, because Corebridge is such a competitive company, the QOL line of term has some of the top ranking term premiums. And really what we mean by that is most competitive term premiums out there. In addition to that, if you're buying multiple term durations or you need to replace multiple term policies, we can offer a discount if we bundle those together. So it has to be the same insured, same owner, same payment account. But if you're buying multiple policies, by the way, including an IUL, if you're buying multiple policies, we can actually get a discount that waives the policy fee on all but one policy. So this can save a dramatic amount, assuming you're buying more than just one term policy. You could be buying two term policies, or you could be buying a term policy and an IUL. So just keep that in mind. If you're replacing a term, or if we're going to do an IUL with the term, that's something that we need to consider as well. In addition to that, the living benefit riders or the accelerated benefit riders with this product cannot be excluded due to table ratings. So they won't be excluded even if you're a table 8, which I think is a strong value proposition as well. In addition to that, we do have conversion options with this product as well. So moving on from there, this is the this is like where this is very competitive. So for example, if you bought a protective premium or protective policy 3 years ago, it would be, $335 a month, or this might be annualized, $335 annualized. The QOL term, if you did a 17-year, 3 years later, it would only be $312. So this is where the replacement comes in, and the fact that you can dial this term and be extremely competitive. So not only did we upgrade them from a term policy that maybe has crappy conversion options, but also doesn't have the accelerated benefit riders, we are lowering their premiums. So that is how we can upgrade these. And we make these comparisons all the time and demonstrate how we can lower the premiums, or even just keep them the same, but add the accelerated benefit riders. Because again, I bought a 20-year term 3 years ago. Now it's been 3 years later, and I'm 3 years older. So instead of pricing out another 20-year term, let's price out a 17-year term. and we can usually be more competitive than what they currently have. And in fact, it's even better because we're adding on the accelerated benefit riders. So, number one, if you have any clients that have a policy that doesn't have accelerated benefit riders, we can definitely improve that. If you've written other accelerated benefit riders companies like, North American or Life of the Southwest, National Life Group, or anything like that. And even if it's been a couple of years, we can replace that and generally reduce the premiums, as you can see from this demonstration on this slide. Let me go to the next one. Sorry about that. So the whole point of this is, number one, we can be competitive with what they already have. Number two, the living benefit riders provide such a big benefit. So we're going to get them in at roughly the same premium, if not less. But also you're protected from all these issues that you can see on the screen. Every 66 seconds, somebody develops Alzheimer's. 69% of Americans will need at least 3 years of some form of long-term care. Annual heart attack and stroke costs, or heart disease and stroke costs, 228 billion. 6 in 10 Americans live with at least one chronic disease, and so forth. So you can see the impact that this can have and how many people actually need this type of benefit. So let's get into a little bit more detail of what the benefits are that are provided from this QOL line of products, which again is a unique product that we have available to the people that we work with. But first off, we have chronic illness acceleration. So if you're familiar with this space, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Chronic illness is sort of like the same qualifications as long-term care. So if you have some sort of cognitive impairment, or you can't do at least 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, then you can accelerate the death benefit. Critical illness is some sort of major ailment that will impact your life expectancy. So that's a heart attack, stroke, invasive cancers, blood cancers, organ transplant, paralysis, comas, things like that. And then, of course, most policies have the terminal illness acceleration, but terminal illness is you don't expect to live longer than 24 months. Now, I just got a question in that I should have maybe made a little bit more clear on the previous slide. The premiums that I'm showing you here includes the accelerated benefit rider, which is automatically included and at no cost. So these riders do not cost anything extra and are automatically included with this line of product. Now, that can't be said for all companies, but at least this company that we're talking about here today has it for no additional cost. So hopefully that answers your question. I think that it does. So finally, when you compare premiums to other companies and so forth, that's what this is showing here. You can see the maximum critical and chronic illness benefits that we have, which I think are some of the best in the industry. But you have the QOL flex term, which is what we're talking about here today. You can accelerate up to $1 million for chronic illness, $1 million for critical illness, and then for terminal illness, you can accelerate $1 million as well. People who are also in this space, have different limitations, but their premiums are also substantially different. And you can see that reflected there. And again, you can see the benefits just laid out as compared to some of the other alternatives out there. Some of the competitors, I should say. So I'm gonna probably end here. I'm gonna go to my last page. We'll probably reach out to everybody for additional questions and things like that. I have on my screen here my contact information as well as Brendan's contact information. Brendan is the vice president of recruiting at our firm, and you can reach out with him if you have any questions, as well as me. I'd be happy to answer them. That meeting link I think should still work that I brought up on the screen. But what I'll do is I'll sit here for a few minutes. Looks like we got a lot of people in here, so I either did a really good job or nobody's paying attention and not asking any questions. But anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those now, and we'll be happy to answer those. If not, feel free to shoot us an email and we'll reply. But thanks everybody for joining us, and I hope you found this interesting. And I hope it leads itself to helping a lot of people improve their term and improve the policies that they currently have. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us, and we'll be reaching out shortly to just catch up and follow up. Thanks.